Welcome to my very first video for this new H.I.T channel, H.I.T at Home, where I'll demonstrate that you can do all of your high-intensity exercises in the comfort of your own home. Other than times when I had a personal trainer, I've always worked out at home. You can do a lot with only a few pieces of equipment. I do have one expensive machine with 4 stations, but even that cost me less than $1,000 US. And in the long run, it's worth it to me because I'll never have to pay for a gym membership or deal with other people. The main drawback, I suppose, is that there's no one to spot me, but with machines you can perform these exercises safely and they don't require a spotter. For my first video, I'm going to try out a routine designed by the Dutch YouTuber Arjan Meijer, based on principles discovered by Mentzer. Arjan hosts one of my favorite H.I.T channels. He not only talks about high-intensity training, but he films entire workouts with commentary. He also has some very helpful videos about high-intensity training at home, even if you don't have any exercise equipment. So, let's get on with the workout. It's very cold in Michigan this time of year, so I am bundled up a bit. My home gym is in my basement. Arjan starts out with calf raises, so I can use the leg press part of my multi-station machine for this. Not all of my exercises will look like Arjan's, who is in a modern gym with a lot of quality machines, but this one is pretty close. I've never done this exercise before, actually, but I really liked it and will probably incorporate this into my own protocol. I probably made the weight a little bit too light, as I like it to be around the 8 repetitions mark, so I'll increase the weight next time. One thing that Arjan is doing differently than me is performing exercises on his small muscles first. I usually go with the Arthur Jones system of working the muscles from the biggest to the smallest. But Arthur Jones believed in making H.I.T workouts cardio, so he advocated no rest in between sets. But Arjan believes that it's okay to take a little time between stations. Also, this is a Mentzer workout, and Mentzer was a proponent of the rest pause. Rest pause is a way to go beyond failure, like using forced reps, static holds, and drop sets. I've always used drop sets because that was one of the first weight training techniques I ever learned, and it works really well. I used rest pause when I first discovered H.I.T from a Mike Mentzer video about 8 years ago, but I have not been using them since I switched over to the super slow variety of training. But I really liked using them in this workout. I don't have to change the weight for one thing. So because I am trained in the super slow, high intensity style, I'm used to 10 seconds up and 10 seconds down cadence, whereas it looks like Arjan is doing around 4 to 6 seconds on a rep. Next up, there are 3 more leg exercises: the leg curl, leg extension, and the dreaded leg press. I don't usually do leg curls because I find it to be an awkward exercise. When I had a personal trainer, she had a really nice MedX brand leg curl machine, and you could do it in a normal sitting position. I really like that. But for my machine, I could only do it one leg at a time, so I'll probably not continue this in my regular routine. Arjan himself has said that he's going to eliminate it. The next one is the leg extension, which I am very familiar with. I've been doing this one for a few years. I feel the burn more from this than any other exercise except maybe the leg press. After doing them back to back, I can usually barely walk. My leg press station is very similar to the one Arjan is using, in that the part you put your feet against moves and you stay static, whereas on the MedX leg press machine, it moves you and the footrest stays static. So you either end up getting pressure on your back or on your feet. I have nerve damage in my feet, so I am preferring this method for now. Of course, this is just emulating a squat. You don't need any special equipment to do this exercise. For the next exercise, Arjan was using a special piece of equipment for the lateral raise. I do not have this machine, so I had to use a cable. You can also use dumbbells. For the cable machine, I could only use a 10-pound weight for now, but I definitely felt it. I'll keep experimenting with this one. Now we finally get to my favorite body parts to work, the chest and triceps. This is one of the first workouts I've done without incorporating a bench press. I have to say that the dips worked my chest and arms really well. Arjan used a special dip machine, so I had to use a standard dip bar, but it worked great. It's not as safe as using a machine, but my chest was blown out after this exercise. The bend over row for the lats is another exercise that is new to me. I usually do standard cable rows to work the back. So I did them the same way Arjan did with low weight dumbbells. I only had a pair of 15 pounders, which were a little heavy. 10 pounders would probably work better. My technique is probably not as good here, but that is because this was new to me. The next exercise was my greatest discovery from Arjan's video. I have performed bicep curls in so many ways that I was surprised I'd never tried this one. Luckily, my machine can emulate Arjan's closely. It was incredible. My biceps were pumped like never before. Pulling the bar down to the back of my head was a little bit awkward at first, but well worth it. I'll definitely be incorporating this bicep curl into my weekly workouts, so I can probably get rid of my preacher bench for now. Then we go right into a lat pull down, which is an exercise I'm familiar with. I was definitely very tired at this point, but decided to do a rest pause and get the most out of this workout as I could. I did not film it, but I also ended up doing a set of crunches afterwards, as that was one body part left out of this routine. So since Arjan did a pose down at the end of his video, I thought why not and did one as well. I've been doing high intensity training for around 8 years, and before that I was a standard volume lifter, working out for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 3 to 4 days a week. 2 workouts a week is ideal for me now, but I can usually only fit in 1 per week. I'm fortunate enough to have a qualified high-intensity trainer in my area, so last summer I signed up for a 15-week program and learned about the super slow 10-second version developed by Ken Hutchins. I worked out once with this trainer on the weekends, and then once again in the middle of the week at home. I was making strength gains, so I don't think I was overdoing it. She didn't discourage me in any way from working out twice a week. Arthur Jones recommended working out 3 days a week. Mike Mentzer recommended once a week, or even longer, like once every 8 to 10 days. So like Ellington Dardenne, I aim for somewhere in the middle. So thank you for watching my very first HIT video, and thanks to Arjan for putting out his Mike Mentzer heavy duty routine, and for all of his excellent HIT videos. The only thing I don't follow him on was mentioned at the very end of his video, his diet. He eats an animal-based, high-fat diet with lots of cholesterol-filled foods like cheese and eggs and no fruit. I eat a diet that is almost exactly the opposite of that. It's high-carb with lots of fruit and vegetables. But Arjan said that he's going to make a video about his diet, so I'll reserve for any further comments until he puts that out. Fred Hahn, the author of Super Slow, will not even train people who do not eat keto style. So I know that some hitters and other weight trainers use high-fat diets and intermittent fasting to stay slim. But I wanted to show my body to demonstrate that you can also achieve a slim, muscular physique eating only whole plant foods and no meat. Thanks again for watching. I'll be putting out a video soon about the history of high-intensity training and why it is the best form of exercise for everyone. See you then.